Hello, we're back again. This is Soundbites video number 1. It's an important subject, one that you really do need to spend some time thinking about before anything else, before you actually start spending any money, making plans, whatever. And it's a subject that a lot of people skip over. But it's a subject that we had drummed into us by the couple that actually mentored us when we first started, and they made it very plain that until we actually had, and we had to write it down, what our why was. It might sound a bit tacky, but if you don't know why you want to do this, if you don't know why you actually want to go online, and you will be becoming a business. This is a business. We're not playing at this. If you want to play at this, then really and truly Soundbites isn't for you. And you're never actually going to make any serious money out of the internet unless what drives you is your passion, and it has to be your why. Now it can be anything. It can simply be that you want to give your wife a big house. It could be that you want to go and buy a Bentley. It's fine. Anything really. It doesn't really matter what your why is, but it has to be something that will see you through. Because believe you me, this is not all wine and roses. This is not, take the rose-coloured glasses off. Quite simply, this is not simple. This is not easy. It is simple. What we do is quite simple, but it takes consistency. It takes dedication. It's going to be a case of there's going to be times when you really don't want to do it. You really don't want to apply yourself. But it's like anything. If you really want to get good at it, you have to spend the time and you have to be consistent. And it's not something that you can do once a week. And it's got to be something that will get it. Your why has to be something that will carry you through. So we'll start at the beginning. Decide on your why. Do not just think, oh, well, I fancy a change. Because that's too limp-wristed, that's too wishy-washy. That isn't going to see you through to the end. This has got to be something that's a passion. This has got to be something that you really and truly want to do. Our passion was, or mine, which also became my wife's as well, or similar. Her passion is she wants to promote women in business. She became a businesswoman herself only after seeing me become a businessman. When we got married, the first thing I did was I became self-employed, and I started my own electrical contracting business. And it's something I was born into. My father was an electrician and his father was an electrician. So it was the only thing I really knew. I went straight into it. I truly wanted to be a carpenter, but I was told by my dad that if I was going into building trade, construction, that I was going to be an electrician. And I actually thanked him for it in the end, because it was the more technical trade. And no offence to carpenters, please don't get offended. I don't mean to offend you. But electrical work is extremely technical, and it's something again that's changing very, very quickly as developments in technology go forward. So I became an electrician, and I'd never ever worked for anybody. I'd always worked for myself, so I went straight into my own business. Now my wife saw me working in my own business. She saw me struggle, but she saw me keep going, and eventually I ended up with 12 electricians working for me. Um, and I had a successful business, and it was making some very good money. But at the end of it, um, I didn't want to do it. I'd had enough of it. Um, my father died in very tragic circumstances, and it just knocked the stuffing out of me. And I decided that I did not want to do it anymore. So I retired from construction, and I went into the internet. My wife was she was working in the equine industry. She was running people's yards. She was very good at it. She was an extremely good horsewoman, and she had a lot of empathy for horses. She loved them, and she was very good with sick and injured horses, with nursing them back to health. But that's a very hard business, and she got many injuries because horses have a tendency when they bump into you to break things. And in the end, she decided that she just had enough of the injuries, and she just wanted to do something that meant that she wasn't risking her life nearly every day. So we started our internet business, but we wanted to travel, and I wanted to help. Uh, Changing tack slightly, when I was an electrician, I used to talk to people. I liked to listen to what people had to say. I liked listening and swapping views. And the one thing that came through, one thing that resonated with me nearly every single time I spoke to people was that when I said to people, why don't you change your job if you don't like what you do? And all I ever got was, what can I do? It's the only thing I know. And I wanted to be a bit of a trailblazer. I was always looking for a different way, something better, something that I could really get my teeth into. And when I retired, I surprised a lot of people because I came out of construction at 58. I was surprised a lot of people because a lot of people that I'd worked for many, many, many years were very sad that I gave up or gave up being an electrician, not give up, because I don't give up at anything. But I moved on, and I decided I was going to do other things, and it made a lot of people sit up and think, if he can do it, perhaps I can do it. And I've since helped a few of those people to go on to help to build a business online. But it doesn't matter what they did. The basics are all the same for everybody. It doesn't really matter whether it's knitting patterns, it could be baking, it could be, I don't know, travel, it could be anything. It doesn't really matter. The basics are all the same for everybody. There is a basic structure, a basic strategy that everybody has to learn to actually make a business online work. And it is simple, but it's a system, it's a strategy that you have to get right. And it took us a long time because, as I say, the help is there now, but when we started, the help wasn't there. So, getting back to your why, because I digress, I do tend to go off at a tangent. You just got to tell me, keep going on straight where you're going, down the line. Stick to the point. The point is your why has to carry you through the bad times, and you will get some bad times. I want to be perfectly upfront with you about that. This is not get rich quick. If you want get rich quick, go do something different, because the internet's not for you. Guarantee it. New shiny objects, jumping from one to the other, and that's something that we will come on to in a later video. New shiny objects, jumping from one thing to another thing to another thing. That's something we will come on to in another video. But at this stage, I want you to give some thought to why. Why do you want to do this? And you will find that you will be able to hone it down. Excuse me. And then, when you have your true why, write it down. Make it short and sweet. It doesn't have to be a book. Just a simple paragraph will do. Try to distill it down to a paragraph if possible. 2 if you have to. Write it down. Keep it safe, because when you do hit a bad time, when you need a little bit of a lift, you can read it and it will refocus your mind as to why you want to do this. Don't give up. Remember, it's about, you have to remember why you started this. It's a journey, and the future is the destination. Your future is the destination. Okay? So by the time we get to the next video, you need to be able to say to me, and I will ask you, what's your why? And I don't want a wishy-washy answer, and you don't want a wishy-washy answer. You need to be able to say, I want to do this because, and it's because it's something that's really important to you. It doesn't have to be important to your neighbours or your sister or your mother or your mum or your dad. This has to be important to you. Okay? Write it down, and next time we meet, when we do meet, which we will do, we'll meet face to face, I will want you to be able to say to me, this is what carried me through. Okay? That's your why. And we will come back to this in future videos, but just for the moment, get that done. That's the start. The next video, we will go on to goals. Okay? Speak to you soon. Video 1 done. Move on to video 2, will be goals. Okay? Have fun. Write it down. Write your story and then distill it down to a paragraph. And we'll meet soon. Okay? We'll see you soon. So it's Paul signing off here. Next soundbite soon. Bye.